early Friday morning, Fast Friday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are glad you're here. Proof again that Team Penske does more before 9 a.m. than most teams do all day. The opening news conference today on Fast Friday. 7 distinguished panel members up here, most of which do not need an introduction, but we'll do one regardless. In the middle there with the black vest on, the legendary Roger Penske, founder and chairman of Penske Corporation. Tim Cindric is here, president of Team Penske. Rick Mears, four-time Indianapolis 500 champion. Josef Newgarden, driver of the number 2 Shell V-Power Dallara Chevrolet. Helio Castroneves, voice is a bit questionable this morning. We'll see what happens with that. He's the driver of the number 3 Penske Dallara Chevrolet. Will Power is here, the reigning Indy 500 champion, driver of the number 12 Horizon 5G Dallara Chevrolet. And Simon Pagenaud, driver of the number 22 Menards Dallara Chevrolet. As you may or may not know, this year the team is celebrating its 50th anniversary of their first Indianapolis 500 entry back in 1969. The legendary Mark Donohue driving a McLaren. A couple of years later, 1972, earned Team Penske their first win in the Indy 500. Then names come along like Mears, Unser, both of them, Hornish, DeFerrin, Castroneves, Montoya. They've all won for the captain. 12 different drivers have won the 500 for Team Penske. The latest, of course, the 17th winner just last year. Will Power did it in 2018. A team won its 5th straight IndyCar GP last Saturday with Simon Pagenaud earning his first win since the season finale at Sonoma last year. All told, amongst these folks here and the crew members back in the garage area, the team has a combined 766 years of IndyCar experience. That is amazing, and certainly this group, along with Cup, IMSA, sports cars, picking up where they left off, have already earned 17 victories this year in 4 different series. We'll begin with the captain, Roger Penske, and as noted, RP back in 1969 brought Mark Donohue here, won a couple of years after that, 16 more all told. Roger, what is it about Indianapolis that has allowed you to have really so much success here over 50 years?
Well, I think it's all about the team. You talked about over 700 years of experience in the garage area this year. I think it's the continuity. We have low turnover with our team. We've always had the best drivers, and to me, the time and effort that we put into Indianapolis is so important because, over the years we've built our brand around Indy. You think about the notoriety we get, from competing here and being successful. It's amazing. And I looked at a stat here a couple of weeks ago, and we've led 2,300 plus laps here, so that's over 11 races. So it isn't just the race you win, but it's the consistency. The team leading laps, which has given us, I think, the success. But, the interesting thing is we've got 4 guys here that want to win the race. There's only going to be one, but I think the effort and time and to see them work together, we've got a very open and transparent relationship with the drivers. We're a team, one team, not 4 teams, and I think that's the kind of way we've operated. And Donohue was a student of that also, very open. And as we built with Gary Bentonhausen and had success in '72, we had 2 good drivers and 2 good cars. But to me, for me, it's I came here back in '51 with my dad, and I guess we were gone for a couple of years, but I take my vacation so I can come here and have fun.
Absolutely. You've been having a lot of fun lately around here. And Will Power, just last year, picking up the sweep here during the month of May, Grand Prix, and more importantly, the Indianapolis 500. When you add your name to the other 12 guys that have won the 500 for RP, you see that list, what do you think about it?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of legends on there. It's hard to believe your name is amongst those people because in my mind they're always above me, no matter how much I win or how many 500s I win or whatever. They're just people that you looked up to as a kid, and they're a legend to you, and they always will be. But yeah, it's a real honour to have your face on that trophy and be amongst the 12 guys that have won it from Rogers. So yeah, just a great team to be driving for as far as getting the equipment you need every time you come here. Obviously, it's a huge effort they put into this race, and you know that you're going to have a shot year in, year out.
question about that. Simon on the far right, really needing a win. It came last Saturday in the Grand Prix, third time in your career here for the IndyCar Grand Prix. What is a win? Maybe Will knows, but what do you think a win can do like that heading into this crucial moment, qualifying this weekend of the race a week from Sunday?
Well, I think it's just perfect timing. You know, you're obviously going into the biggest race in the world, and you need the whole team and your crew to feel that confidence going in. So, you know, getting that win at the Grand Prix was definitely a big boost for everybody, not just me, but for every 4 teams. You know, the guys are working a lot of hours this month, so just being able to have that trophy in the garage is a reminder that, you know, we're here to win races, and that's a big plus.
Trophy still in the garage? IndyCar Grand Prix?
I think it is. Yeah, it always is.
It's in the bus.
It's in the bus. You kept it on your office, huh?
Yeah, right in the bus.
And Helio, we're going to try the voice here, but you know, certainly welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Fans go crazy wherever you go, it seems. IMSA IndyCar Series as well. What do you think it means to the fans? Here you are in search of win number 4 again. We kind of know what it would mean to you, but your fans, I think, would be excited about this, would they not?
Well, I feel that IndyCar has the best, sorry, it's a little bit rough, but I feel that IndyCar has the best fans all over the place, and I'm very honored and glad to have those kind of fans to not only support the race, but support those that succeed. And when you have a great team like Team Penske and give me the tools and give us the tools to be able to execute, it makes the job, you know, less difficult. However, we're here. I'm excited again to be another year and have Roger and Senior give me another chance, and can't wait so far to be very comfortable with the Penske car, and looking forward to continue that search and for the number 4, and hopefully with this year.
We should add, you feel fine.
I feel great.
Just the voice.
The voice is going, so it's probably better for the entire team, so I'll be quiet.
He's been yelling over the radio at me, so that's what happened.
That happens. By the way, we're going to take questions here momentarily, but first, Josef Newgarden, who comes in as the points leader as well in the IndyCar Series. It's funny, this is a points-paying race, obviously, a week from Sunday, but do you really worry about points when it comes to the Indianapolis 500?
Yes and no. I think it's important, as you said. You know, it counts for the whole year. It's a big chunk of it, actually. This whole month and all the way through Detroit is a really important span of races. So certainly we got to think about it. Qualifying actually has some points there too, so that's important. But without a doubt, I think you approach it like every other race. You got to put yourself in a position to hopefully win it, and then if it all works out, then maybe you'll be the person at the end of the day drinking the milk. So from that regard, I don't think you treat it differently than another event, but it kind of stands as its own that, you know, if you could choose this event over any other, I think you would any year, you know, for sure. There's only one opportunity to make it happen every year you do this. So it's an important day, an important time to get things right, but we feel very confident. I think I feel confident in this team. You know, we feel as drivers that we get to drive for the best and work with the best, and that's the type of feeling you want to have when you come to this track. So excited, yeah. I think the Shell V-Power Chevrolet car has been quick this month so far. We've had some good signs from it. We're trying to take our time. At least I am. I think you got to pace yourself around this place, not get too excited. You know, stay pretty level until it comes time to make it happen. So we'll see what we got this weekend. Hopefully we can put in the show nice and comfortably, and then try and go for a win next Sunday.
That's all you can ask, right, is have a shot at winning the Indy 500, and certainly these 4 gentlemen have that week from Sunday. All right, so questions here. We've got a mic on that side. I've got a mic too, and we'll begin here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Only one question. A question for you, Roger. As long as you're involved in IndyCar racing, very long time, what is personally for you the biggest innovation in race car technology and racetrack technology you ever personally see?
Well, I think the aerodynamics, when we came here back in, I think it was, 69 and 70, you know, we have a lap time of 180 miles an hour and we go 200 on the straightaway and probably 150 in the corners. Well, today, we're doing lap speeds at, over 220, through the corner. So I would say aerodynamics and from the safety aspect, the soft walls have made a huge difference. Those are monumental. Engines have been up, engines have been down as far as power, and we're not running the full capability of the engines today. But I would certainly say aerodynamics and the safety for the drivers, and that would be internally in the car and also the safe walls.
And only one question from Wolfgang. That was amazing. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Penske, do you like being on the radio with the driver who's lost his voice?
I just like being on the radio with him. You see, he and I have been a pair for a long time, so no, it's. I guess I wouldn't like to be here if I couldn't be involved, and I think it's. You get to see what the guys are going through. I think we communicate across the 4 pit boxes, all during the race. Things we're thinking about or not. I mean, at the end, it's going to be who's up there and can finish first. But no, communication is great with Helio.
This is for Will and also for Joseph. Opening day, you seem to think that it was a completely different handling car from last year. After day 2, Joseph said, talk to him today, I'm not so sure he feels that way. How do you feel the difference in the way this car is aerodynamically, and how hard it is to still get close if your car's 3, 4, or 5 back on the line?
Yeah, for sure the Firestone tyre has changed the car. It's made the front better. It has definitely lower on front aero because of that. I've never seen a car around this place be able to pass about 4th place. You just simply can't. I mean, the guy in front has to make a mistake. I just think anyone who thinks that you can build a car that can pass anywhere in the field is, they're crazy. You can't do that. I mean, because the car in front's getting a tow. So I think it'll be a race where the leaders switch, lap in, lap out, until the end of the stint. It's a bit better following, and I think what the thing is with this series is so competitive now. There's no bad cars and there's no bad drivers. So when you get that, there is less passing simply because the competition's so tough. The quality of drivers and teams is just high now. So you don't come upon slow cars and you can't charge through the field if you've got a good one.
And if Joseph wants to add to that or give how the car feels to you over last year.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to temperature, honestly. I think if it's a hot day like last year, you're not going to see something crazy different. I think the leaders may swap a bit more. There's definitely an improvement on the Firestone tire for front grip. But overall, I think, like Will said, it's still difficult to charge through the field with the way the car is configured now. And also because of how tight everybody is. Everyone's so good that you have to wait for a mistake or kind of a shuffle around. You can absolutely come through this field from the back. There's no question of that. It's just, how quickly can it happen? If you go to the back with 30 to go, you're probably going to be in a tough spot. So, I think temperature is going to be a big deal this year. See how hot or cold it is for the race.
My question, I'll start for Roger, but if Tim or Rick or Helio wants to weigh in, the last 4-6 weeks have been sort of spent debating guaranteed spots and the qualifying format, and both Roger, Michael, and Chip have been sort of brought into this issue based on your opinion. So I'm wondering, where do you stand on what you'd like to see qualifying be? If you really truly want guaranteed spots, or if there's just a flaw in the system this year that the top 33, the fastest 33 are not truly guaranteed to make it.
Well, I think the people who invest in the sport and are building the sport today to where it is, and I think we've got great momentum from the press, from our TV partners, and to commit to the full season and not have an opportunity to race here. I think in today's world, things might have been different, when there was 15 or 16 cars, trying to qualify in the previous years. But under the current situation, I think that, we have to have if you're going to commit and run the whole season, follow me, you should have an opportunity to run in this race. And so there's going to be people bumping this weekend, which is good, but at the present time, that would be my position.
Do any of you all get tradition being changed?
Well, there's a lot of traditions changed here, right? They've got a road race here. They had a Formula One race. They got a NASCAR race here. So to me, it's a sign of the times.
More questions? Go ahead.
Helio, yesterday the announcers are on the broadcast all day long, so they're looking for anything to talk about. And they happen to focus on you, like taking a middle line, exiting 1 and going toward 2. Were you just trying to see if there's grip up there, and how does the universal car handle this year?
Yes, yeah. Sometimes you just on the safe side, you just try to experience, the situation that it could happen. But obviously, it was just something that I want to take a look, especially being 1 year away from the car. I want to see how the car handles. But yeah, it's still kind of like very slippery up there. But in the end of the day, it was the beginning of a long run. So sometimes you just want to just taste the water, to see what you can do in a good way. But yeah, that was just an experience that I was trying to do.
Simon, prior to the IndyCar Grand Prix, Kyle Moyer was saying, once you win, you're going to kick the door down and win a lot more. Do you feel that what your victory last Saturday, I mean, has that increased your confidence level and your ability that I've gotten the bad luck out of the way, now let's start winning a lot?
I wish every weekend were like last weekend, really. That's the goal. I think we all have a common goal, right? And our common goal here is all to win races. And, we did that last weekend. Josef did it in St. Pete. Will was going to do it in Coda. So as a team, we're in really good shape. And I feel like we have all the chances in the world to do very well here at the Speedway and in the championship. So the boost of confidence has been really good. But quite frankly, I knew at the beginning of the season we were going to be in good shape, so I had no questions.
Rick, what's it like when you're trying to get on the radio with Helio and he's not really talking? I mean, this is as quiet as I've ever heard your boy Castroneves.
I've never experienced that yet. So it's going to be a new day. Believe me, when it comes time, he'll be able to.
If he needs to express something, he will?
Yes.
That's usually the case. More questions? Yep.
Roger or Tim, this is obviously one of 17 races. What percentage of your season resources actually go into this event compared to the others?
I'm the calculator. I obviously can't tell you in terms of a percentage, but it's our #1 priority. So when you look at what we do and how we do it, and you look at the legacy and the tradition that Roger's had here over the years, it's a huge amount of pressure in some ways amongst all these guys, and especially the ones back at the shop and the engineers and so forth. But I think you have to thrive on that. I think you have to want that. And for us, we always ask ourselves, does that translate to Indy? And really, when you put the resources, because we don't have unlimited resources either, but I think when you ask yourself the question, where do you invest? And you invest in whatever it takes to win this place.
Another question for Roger. Your motorsport program is now involved in NASCAR, IMSA.
Say it again.
Yeah, you're involved motorsport-wise now in IMSA, NASCAR, and IndyCar. With all your great connection to car manufacturers worldwide, is there any plan, short or long term, to expand into Formula E?
Not really. I think my son Jay has a Formula E team now, and basically we're running over here. We think that it's as I say, building our brand. It's in the U.S. We can capitalize on that. We went out to Australia in the Supercar Series, which has helped us out there too. But I don't see us in Formula E at this point.
In the back here, go ahead.
I have a question for the drivers. Has the advanced frontal protection piece had any influence on your driving? Has it impacted you with making it more difficult to see or anything?
Personally, at the beginning, it's obviously something in front of your face, so you got to get used to how to focus on the racetrack differently. But after a day of running, it's like it's not even there. So it's really good for safety. Again, IndyCar pushing the limits to try to find another area to improve for the car safety, and we can only thank them, the drivers, for that. It's protecting our head, and that's a big improvement.
Mr. Penske, you mentioned how special of a relationship you've had with Helio over the years. What makes him such a special driver?
Well, Helio came with us a number of years ago, and he's had a record of winning, and certainly when you think about Rick's success at 4 wins and Helio at 3, and to me he's been the ultimate guy with us. Really corresponding across Will and Josef and certainly Simon. I guess he's the senior guy, and to me he and I are business partners and off the track. So it's great to be able to be on his car here at the Speedway.
Rick, you've always been a proponent of less aero, higher horsepower, less downforce. So looking at this car that we have that races at Indianapolis now, how does it compare or differ? And is it a type of car that you would have liked to have driven when you were a driver?
No, absolutely. I've always felt more that direction, the higher horsepower and less downforce. And I think IndyCar, they're going the right direction. IndyCar is doing a tremendous job, I feel. And, you can only do so much at a time. As far as I'm concerned, you could do more of it, less downforce and more power. And I think that's a direction we're looking at. So I think everybody in IndyCar right now is on the same page, and I think they're making the right calls. And you got to get everybody on board with the program, and that takes time. So I think everybody sees that it's really producing some excellent racing. Not just here, but on all the other tracks, the road courses that I've watched so far. It's a plus. So I think everybody's understanding that and going that direction. So I'm really looking forward to the future with it.
Would you have liked to have driven?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's, to me, the less grip and the more power gives me more tools as a driver. More options, more opportunities to make a difference in the car, the lap, whatever, in competition. So there's got to be a pretty good degree of difficulty. That's what makes this sport what it is, and that's how you distinguish the difference between the drivers. So I think it's a good thing.
Similar, different than when you drove?
I think it's it's closer. You'd have to go a long way the other way to get to where I was at, probably. But no, I think it's going that same direction. Very similar thing.
All right, anyone else? Going once, Janet?
For the drivers, how are you guys able to handle the understeer without adding any downforce? Fight the problems that others are having?
Yeah, actually, with that tire, we've gone the other way. I mean, I've been struggling with the loose car, so the Firestone came with a different construction, which really helped that late push mid-off understeer. It just depends where you're running in the wake of the car in front, and how many cars are in front of you is how your balance is. I guess this front wing is pretty sensitive because it's a smaller front wing to dirty air, and if you're close, you're going to get some push. So you've got to find a way to set your car up to be strong in traffic without losing the front.
Joseph, you got any thoughts on that?
Sure, yeah, I would agree with Will. I mean, we've got a lot of tools. I think everyone's trying to experiment. The tire is different, and it reacts differently than last year. I think it's had some similar characteristics. So I think a lot of what we were dealing with last year we're still dealing with today, but there's also new variables. Like Will said, he's got troubles with the rear of the car too. So trying to balance how you fix multiple problems is really what you fight here all the time. You fight one end of the car, then you hurt the rear, and you fix the rear, then you hurt the front. So it's a balancing act as always. But we've got a lot of tools. I think creeping up on it, just trying to go through everything as much as you can, understanding the changes each day is really important. Today could be very different than yesterday. Track's been washed off a bit. Temperature's going to be pretty high. So just trying to keep up with that, all the little changes each day that happen. I think you got to build this book to the month so that on race day, you know the conditions, you know what it's going to be, and you can make the best decision possible.
Kind of along those same lines, the IndyCar has allowed an additional piece onto the front wing for more downforce, and also there's the wicker on the front wing, and I think I saw yesterday a short wicker in the middle of the rear wing on one of the Penske cars, might have been Helios, and I'm just wondering if you've tried the maximum downforce during the practice and how you feel that would work in the race.
Yeah, we've been running through all the configuration. There's a lot of different configuration you can run. Obviously, the harder it's going to be, the more downforce you're going to put on the car. And we haven't had a hot day yet, so it's just very important to try all these configuration, make sure that the car behaves the same with every one of them. So that's really the trick, and that's why it takes so long to set the car up, is to figure out all these little bits and pieces together. What does it do to the balance of the car? It's fascinating, and sometimes the wind tunnel tells us something, but reality is a little different. So it's another element that we have to take into account.
Helio, you want to take a shot at that? No. We've got time for one more question. Phil B, go ahead.
Roger, we know your priorities for winning this race every year. What are your general priorities for the pole? How much importance do you place on winning the pole for this race?
Well, you know, when you look at numbers, if you're interested in numbers, we've got 17 wins, 17 poles, and 17 pit stop contests, so I guess it's pretty important.
That's just off the top of your head, though. You're guessing at those numbers, right? You don't know them for a fact.
Yeah.
I was prepped before I came.
Oh, okay. All right, that'll do it. Good luck today on Fast Friday, guys. What a distinguished panel. Team Penske.